Hello, this is Ivana.
This is Yaw.
And you're listening to the podcast Life in Black and White.
And all the shades in between.
We share all things life, relationships, marriage, parenting, race, and much more. If you enjoy listening to us, then please follow or subscribe to this podcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under Life in Black and White. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Life in Black and White and all the shades in between.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm laughing because I said to Yaw to say hi without me having to say hi, but you didn't do it properly, Yaw. We'll have to practice. That's fine.
I can't wait. I'm sure everybody else can't wait either. But let's crack on.
How are you, Yaw? How are you today?
Yeah, good. Well, health-wise, not the greatest, but feeling this always helps, having the conversations and things that we have energizes and gives good positive energy and things. So that's always good. Yeah.
You look like you need it because you look so drained. You okay?
I love you too.
You aged like 20 years now. I had a proper look at you, but you aged.
Oh,
no pressure. You're on the spot.
No pressure, but yeah, it's a good thing that
we should have another child, maybe.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll send me over the edge. Thanks.
So as you can hear, there's nothing new with us. Everything is the same. We are still drained parents who just try and survive. Okay. So today we are talking to another special guest, Sylvia Tillmann. I hope I pronounced that properly, Sylvia. Is that right? Yeah. And I'm just going to read a bit from her website that really got my attention. And then, Sylvia, you can elaborate on what you do more, of course. But on her website, it says, tension and trauma can show up in so many ways. Headaches, migraines, back, shoulder, neck pain, digestive discomfort, anxiety, irritability, which I don't know what is right now, anger. Your body knows how to release stress. TRE just reminds you how.
Yes.
I invite you to start your healing journey, and I'm here to guide you safely. As I teach rather than treat, you'll gain a tool for life. What would it feel like to release what's weighing you down? You deserve to feel lighter, pain-free, resilient, and more at ease. If this resonates with you, let's have a chat. So I love that part on your website because it immediately grabs you, it hooks you in. So let's have a chat, Sylvia. Yeah, as you said.
Exactly. It got your attention, and that's why we are here.
So tell us more, Sylvia. I'm intrigued to learn more about your work.
Okay. So as you said, I teach rather than treat, and I teach tension and trauma releasing exercises. And I think it's tremendous, because I've tried many things before. So my default has always been cognitive therapies. If something wasn't working, or if I was going through grief or stress or whatever it was that I, wasn't happy with in my life, I thought, like so many people, let's talk it through, let's analyze it, let's make sense of all that, and all up here. So up here. And to be honest, it didn't really do much for me. I mean, I'm not saying it's rubbish, not at all. I mean, it works very well for many people, but it didn't do much for me. But then I still thought, I didn't know anything else, to be honest. And I thought, let's train in counseling so I can make that better. And I understand the process. So I trained, I started a counseling training, but left after the foundation, because I'm like, even that doesn't get me any further. And now that I'm working with the body, I'm totally blown away. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know how amazing our bodies are, how amazing our bodies are in supporting us in a very, very natural, in a very innate way.
Yeah. Okay. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that? How our bodies can, what are our bodies capable of? Yeah.
In your experience? So much. I mean, to heal, to repair, to activate our self-healing capacities. But with regards to TRE, with TRE, we allow our bodies to literally shake off the tension we are holding and the tension we might have held in our bodies over years or decades. And this is a really, well, freeing and releasing process. And not only does the tension go, but quite often this tension is already manifested as aches and pains, as you quoted from my website. Some people have tension headaches or migraines or digestive issues. So once the tension is gone, there's a really, really high likelihood that the pain will ease as well. And I hear that from my clients all the time. I notice that in myself because I struggle with lower back and hip pain. And since practicing TRE, I don't have back pain anymore. I worked with a client recently who said since practicing TRE, she hasn't had a migraine. And I just think it's such a, well, simple, but really, really deeply rooted and deep going tool that can help and support us because our bodies know. Yeah, our bodies know what's good for us, and it's not just up here, our clever brains.
Yeah, but isn't it all connected, mind and body?
Absolutely. That's where the psychosomatic pain comes in. Yeah, when we have psychosomatic pain, we are worrying about something, and then you notice, oh, my tummy is grumbling, or I'm grinding my teeth because I'm holding on to something. That's absolutely, it's one unit, there's no separation.
But then in that case, what do you need to say? You do counseling, for instance. It doesn't, and if you resolve the mind, does it not release the pain? Or does it work better?
I'm sure it helps many people. I mean, as I said, I'm not dismissing counseling at all or seeing a psychologist. I'm not saying that. I said it didn't do anything for me. I was going round and round in circles and was analyzing and thinking and what happened to me and this is my story. But as I said, it can help other people. But what helped me was the somatic side of things.
Okay. So what works better for you in your experience is to deal with the body.
To let the body do what the body is naturally designed to do.
Okay. And that impacts the mind.
As well. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I notice, and many people who practice TRE notice they are just more resilient. Yeah, they are just more able to cope with life. They are less anxious. They are less angry, because not only does TRE release tension, it's twofold. Yes, it releases tension, physical tension from your body, but through the internal process, we also down-regulate an overly active nervous system. So if somebody is constantly in fight or flight and constantly on edge, as soon as we down-regulate this nervous system and they find equilibrium in themselves, they are not shouting at the other person or being angry.
Oh my God. I don't know how much I can ask you before it becomes inappropriate to do this like for free. But you know what? I am, and I think Yaw will agree, very irritable. Yeah. I know it's a shock horror because I'm so pleasant.
Absolutely. There's always a shadow side, isn't there?
Like, Yaw has to be in a different room, because now when he's next to me, like we said at the beginning, before we pressed record, it irritates me. Like his sounds he's making, the way he moves sometimes, and that's just him. So many things irritate me. So you, as an expert, what would you say the reason is, or what I can do? Only share as much as you can, obviously, but I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm not sure what the reason is. You are the psychologist.
What would you do if I was a client? Let's say I come to a client.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the first thing we do?
Well, if you were to if you were to decide to learn TRE, the first thing we do is have a chat to see if TRE would meet your expectations. If you say, yeah, I'm so irritable and I'm like constantly on edge and my husband irritates me and I'm close to exploding so many times, I'd say, well, that's a good likelihood that TRE can help you, because by practicing TRE, and I have to say it's about practicing, it's not a quick fix and it's not a one-off. As I said, or as you quoted from our website, I teach you the tool so you have the tool for the rest of your life, and then you can practice. And that might only be 5 minutes a day or every other day, but you have this tool. So by practicing TRE, you're then able to down-regulate an overly active nervous system, find calmness and relaxation within yourself, not just like maybe going once a week for a massage or a spa treatment and find the calmness and the deep relaxation there, but really practicing and doing it on a regular basis yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have this chat to see if TRE can meet your expectations. I never promise anything apart from it will release tension and it will downregulate an overly nervous system. And then once that's sorted, the magic can happen. And I mean, I've seen it in myself. I see that in my clients. Our bodies are amazing, and you can really achieve so much once you've removed the root cause.
Right.
And then I'll ask you to fill in a health questionnaire. So I have a little bit of background about your health history. What do I need to be aware of once we start working together? And then we meet, and I have to say I teach, probably 98% of my clients on Zoom, which works very well because I don't need to touch you. I'm just really here to hold the space and to guide you. And you can stay in your favorite place where you feel safe, because this is important. If you don't feel safe, you can't get into the tremoring process. And you don't have to drive home or get home from somewhere after relaxing treatment. And then the actual TRE is, we start with 6 warm-up exercises, which are very similar to yoga stretches and yoga movements. It's just to really, first of all, for you to arrive in the space, to be ready and leave the day and all the worries behind and get ready for the session. It's also to fatigue your muscles, because when your muscles are a bit stressed and fatigued, the tremoring process starts more naturally. Then I guide you through a grounding meditation, because what I said before, the most important thing in TRE is that you feel safe and grounded. And then we start the TRE process. And usually it happens because imagine you'll be lying on the floor in butterfly position, like feet sole to sole, knees out. And then you bring your legs slowly towards each other. And at one stage, you will notice a wee tremor in your legs. This is the actual TRE. And so many people then say, I've heard it so many times, oh my gosh, this is a bit weird. Yes, that's your brain telling you, my goodness, what am I doing? I'm lying on the floor, on my back, like a beetle, and I start tremoring. And your brain thinks, oh my God, I've never done that before. And I'm like, okay, switch off your brain, just listen to your body. What do you feel in your body? And the standard response is release. Release. Calmness. Some people who have digestive issues said to me, I really noticed within the first minute or so, I really noticed my tummy is calming down. Other people notice their jaws, their face just more relaxed. Also, they were only tremoring in their legs. And I mean, the list is endless. So this is the actual TRE, the tremoring process. We do that for, depending on you and your circumstances and how comfortable you feel doing that, for maybe only a minute, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, because the mantra is less is more. or the tension which has accumulated over years or decades even, we don't want to release it in one go. We want to slowly, get your system used to, oh, here's a release valve, and we can get rid of it.
Can I ask, what's the difference between this and, say, when I hit the pillows or start screaming to release? What's the difference?
It's a very good question. I was expecting you to say, what's the difference when I dance wildly? Because I hear that quite a lot when people say, I don't need that, because if I'm stressed, I just put the music on and dance wildly. So the difference is you do that consciously. You know how you move your arms, you know how you move your body and your legs. In TRE, you do it the tremoring is involuntary. So it's what we call a neurogenic tremor. And you can't control. Sometimes I have people who say, I saw you tremoring on your website. I want to tremor like that. And I don't feel that. And I'm like, no, you don't. You want to tremor like your body wants to tremor. Yeah. So you can't control it. The only thing you can do is obviously to stop it. And that's the first thing I teach my clients, how to stop it. Because we don't want to overdo it. But because the tremoring is involuntary, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Yaw, I'm gonna let you talk, I promise. I just
That's fine. I feel I'm talking too much.
No. It's just what did I want to ask? Oh, now it's gone. Hold on. It will come back. Oh, that you don't actually need to know maybe what the client's problem is, because do they need to tell you, say, I want to get rid of my shoulder pain? You don't need to know, no, because
I don't need to know that. I mean, some clients go very much into detail and tell me their trauma history or their childhood or their struggle, which is fine if they want to share it. So I can then be extremely careful in guiding them so that we don't go too fast, too quickly. But some people are very reserved and say, yes, I've had trauma. I don't want to talk about it. I've tried cognitive therapies. Now I want to work with the body. And that's exactly the beauty. It's so nice for people who say, I have talked, I don't want to talk. Let the body do the work.
Love it.
Yeah, give your brain a break.
Yeah, this is so for you.
Concentrate on the body. And talking about giving the brain a break, I also just recently worked with a woman who was diagnosed with ADHD just recently. I mean, mid-aged, well, menopausal woman who, after her first TRE experience, said, so after the shaking, after the TRE, we do a like integration and relaxation phase. And she was lying there and she said, oh my God, this is bliss. And my head is empty. And my head hasn't been empty for, I don't know, years, because there's always going on. Yeah, with this ADHD and I need to do that, the constant clutter. And she says, wow, this is, and the beauty is she can recreate that feeling once she learned TRE safely at any time.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, go. This is so for you. Your birthday is coming up. I'm just saying.
I currently am going through a bit at the moment with blood pressure, and it's it's ridiculously high. It's something that I've dealt with for a number of years, but it's really kind of prevalent and stuff now. And one of the things that I have a problem with is my brain ticks all the time. I'm constantly, and I find it difficult to switch off because I'm always thinking of, what am I doing, or what am I missing that I'm doing? Should I be doing this and stuff? You know, I'm always trying to be kind of mindful of, there's something that needs to be done.
Yes.
And so I always want to try and kind of get ahead of it. And I'm always, and as a result of it, you know, something that I think it is a hereditary thing with my blood pressure, and I've always had it, but it's just a bit kind of a lot and stuff at the moment and things now. And who I work with and all, they've been brilliant. You know, they've been very supportive. And while I've been away, I'm trying not to think of work and I'm trying not to do things. But again, being in a position where I turn around and I switch off and I really switch off, I find it difficult. So as you were going through, as you were mentioning, as you were talking and things, I was just naturally thinking, there's a lot here that I could use personally to kind of see if I can find a way of, because by doing this, and a lot of it is tension. A lot of it is tension. It's the always in that kind of scrunched. I've got to do something. I need to do something. I need to finish this. I need to, and I can't just stop sometimes. And I think,
but you haven't always been like this, Yaw, have you? I think it's more intense with age.
I think there's just a lot. I think there's a lot that I probably take on myself to feel that I'm responsible for, whether it's within work, whether it's at home. I always want to kind of move forward, and I always want to progress, and I always want to develop. And as a reason for that, I put a lot on me and things. But I feel that I have to do that because, you know, I put that responsibility on myself, not for just my family, but obviously, you know, it's just an overall thing. And I think there's probably a lot of people and stuff out in the world, whether it's just men or whether it's just people in general who put a lot on themselves to really kind of move things forward. Life is short. We all know life is short. So we want to kind of do as much as we can do to kind of see for ourselves, but then also for our family and for our kids and stuff and things. So
life is short and can be very stressful, especially in the 21st century when we are supposed to be always on. The phones, the availability, the social media, if you take part in it, but just the expectation that you are that you have to be online 24/7.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And may I offer another thought, Yaw? I'm not a medical expert, but I listened to a really nice lecture, and I'm sure, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm sure it was by Gabor Mate. Don't know if you know him. And he recently, in this lecture, explained what is high blood pressure. High blood pressure is hypertension.
Yes. Exactly. Absolutely.
If you can release that tension, I mean, again, I'm not making any medical claims. I'm just showing the parallels. Whereas if you have too much tension in your body, the hypertension, high blood pressure. What if you can release that tension? And this obviously can be TRE, but any kind of movement is like, I'd say, key. Whether it is running or whether it is whatever, letting off steam, getting out. I just find TRE is the most innate because it's our body's natural reaction to stress. And how do we know that? Because in really, really extreme circumstances, what do people do? Knees are wobbling, hands are shaking. While we find that embarrassing to show that vulnerability in public, I now know, I mean, I didn't know that before I trained in TRE, but I now know this is amazing. And this is our body helping us to get over this extreme stress. Like after a car accident, you see people leaving their car, knees shaking. Brilliant. So if you take one thing, and your listeners, if you take one thing away from this podcast episode, if you see somebody shaking, don't tell them to stop. Don't tell them to calm down. Just really reassure them that's their body supporting them, and give them the space to let their body go through this tremoring process.
If you like this podcast, please don't forget to follow or subscribe to it and share it far and wide. And if you have any tips or suggestions on how we can improve this show, please do let us know. You can find all the details about how you can get in touch with us in the description of this episode.
This is the I've always said there is so much power in being open and talking and, you know, being who you are, where you are at whatever stage you're in. You know, this conversation that we've just had here is just so powerful. And, you know, we've had conversation, you know, we've had some amazing people that we've met along this journey, and it just opens your, you know, the horizon and stuff. This conversation that we've had here gives people an opportunity to see something and try something so completely new that they just probably may not have heard of. And I find it so empowering. Again, thank you.
It's so important because TRE is so niche.
Yeah,
not many people. I mean, as I said, I was the same. Something isn't working, let's talk, let's analyze. So that's I'm really on this mission, because I have a blog post where I said I lost 13 years from the first time I discovered TRE or experienced TRE and didn't really understand what it does for me, to when I actually then looked into it for totally different reasons. And as I said, my mind was blown away, and I'm like, oh my God, if our bodies are so clever, why is nobody telling us?
Exactly.
But there is no coincidence or no surprise that have you heard of Bessel van der Kolk's book, The Body Keeps the Score?
No,
I haven't.
A New York Times bestseller for the last, I think, 5 years. So it's a fairly old book. He wrote that in 2014. But with COVID and the whole stresses we went through COVID, it's been on the Sunday, not Sunday, New York Times, Sunday Times bestseller list as well. Anyway, on the best-selling lists for years now. And Bessel van der Kolk is a psychotherapist who says it's not enough to work like here. We need to bring the body into the equation. And I find his book title, The Body Keeps the Score, just says everything.
So true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I work with people. I mean, my most, I find, impressive example is I worked with a woman and noticed one of her arms, I don't remember which one, was shaking much more than her other arm, which was very still. And I said to her, do you know, I realized this arm is shaking. So has anything happened? I mean, have you had an injury or whatever, broken your arm? And she's like, no, everything's fine, or was fine. And then a while later, she said, Sylvia, do you know what? When I was about 5, I borrowed my older brother's bike, and I wasn't supposed to do that, but I did. I went for a ride. I fell off the bike. I hurt my arm. It was extremely painful. I couldn't tell anybody because I shouldn't have been on that bike.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had kind of forgotten the conversation about why is this arm shaking much more. Brought it up, and the body remembered the pain which the body wanted to let go of. And I'm like, wow, our bodies are tremendously amazing.
Wow.
Okay, I've got a little bit of reading to kind of do, and definitely, but my birthday is coming up, baby. So
Yeah, I know. But
okay.
what would you like more? This for you or for me? So I'm less irritable around you.
I'm sure we can do both, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can both learn TAE. And that's another thing. Again, not a promise, but an observation and client feedback. Relationship improve. Because when every partner or each partner is calmer,
Mhm.
more resilient, you're just not on edge all the time or saying things you later regret because they're like just more within yourselves.
And I just realized Tony Robbins, he always works with physiology because he knows this probably. He always works with body posture, how you stand, how you
right, the
yeah
self-esteem and I mean, yes,
the body,
how
yeah,
you
in fact,
feel,
yeah,
how you feel, and if you're slumped over or if you're like, hey, I'm a hero.
yeah.
Absolutely. It improves your mood when you're more upright.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I need to straighten up now. It just makes you conscious, of your body posture. I'm just thinking, like you mentioned, the shakes. Say,
Yes.
when I'm going through stress and I feel instant tension in my shoulders and in my neck, isn't
Yes.
that also the body's natural response to?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah, when we are stressed, we tense up.
Yeah.
And that's the
But it's not
reason.
good.
Sorry?
Is that amazing too, or is it not so good?
Well, it's not so good because when you tense up, this tension can manifest as pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I need to get a massage. I've got so much tension here. I'm in pain. To help you getting rid of this tension.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like, I wouldn't say it's good. It's good in a way because it's your body's cry for help, where your body says, where there's tension, it needs attention. And then you can do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm just thinking, how do you know what is the body's way to heal, like the shakes, on what is tension? Actually, I just answered the question, but is it only quote unquote shakes that are to be encouraged, or is there any other body movement that should be encouraged?
Well, generally, I would say, and this is also my mantra, movement heals almost all wounds. That's why many people say, oh, I'm dancing wildly and I'm in a better mood. Absolutely. That's why many people who are stressed go for a run or go to the gym and have a boxing session. Yeah, because through the movement, we can release whatever is pent up in our bodies. Absolutely. As I said before, I just think TRE is the most, well, it really is my favorite because it's so innate. Through this involuntary tremor, we really work with our bodies and let our bodies do what our bodies can need and can help us to release. And because it's so natural.
Yeah.
And it's I always say it's nothing new, it's nothing woo-woo, it's nothing new agey. Shaking is one of the oldest medicines on earth. Yeah, when you look at the Kalahari Bushman, when you look at shakers, when you look at, there are many cultures in many, what we as the Western, wonderful, most developed, nations think is like, we look at them and think, well, that's primitive. Yeah, they are dancing, they are drumming, they are singing. Yeah, rubbish. They are helping their bodies much better than we do with our tools or apps. Again, I'm working with so many clients who said, we've tried so many tools, bought so many health gadgets, and now they are all gathering dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because every new tool promises you to do whatever they want to sell you. But I just believe we have everything within us. Yeah. And these cultures, old, ancient, indigenous cultures, we can learn a lot. And Ivana, we were talking about the postpartum shakes.
Yeah.
There's another nice story. I don't think I shared that with you when we were initially talking, but David Berselli, he's the creator of TRE. He went to, I don't know exactly where it was, but he also worked a lot in Africa. So it might have been an African community. And he worked with midwives. And he told them about the shaking and the TRE and how the body can help postpartum and so on and so on. And at one stage, the midwives were starting to laugh. And they were like, listen, there's this white Western man coming to us to tell us how to shake. Crazy. We've been doing that for centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's so innate. It's just, but in our society, shaking is just seen as negative. Yeah, you have an illness, you have epilepsy, you are out of control, and so on and so on. But
that got my attention. Epilepsy, is that for epilepsy as well? Like you should just let it.
No, it is a contraindication. I wouldn't teach anybody who's got epilepsy. Yeah, but the example I was given was just to say when we see somebody shake, it's all negative. So our perception is all negative. We see somebody shaking, we try to calm them down. Don't do that. You'll be fine. No.
I remember I had postpartum shivers after Baby Yaw C-section. And no one told me to calm down, but no one told me also to just do it. And I was like, why am I shaking? And they just said, it's normal. That's all. Yeah. But so sad that they don't tell you these things.
Yes. But I believe now it's the whole somatic aspect of things is getting more into the mainstream. Yeah, I mean, the Body Keeps a Scorebook has been, instrumental, I suppose, in people thinking, I don't just have a brain and it's all happening up here. I also have a body. Yeah, and yes, it's one unit, but we tend to see that not like connected maybe connected, but not like as a unit.
Yeah. I always say there is, sorry, hold the thought. Just, I always say that there is no mental and physical health. It's just health.
Yes.
And it drives me crazy. This mental health matters. It's a health. Why should it even be a thing?
Yes.
No. Sorry, Yaw, you were going to say?
I was just going to say that, if someone, there's probably a lot of people there who have, and you're talking about the psychosomatic, going and having the counselling and things. This you could absolutely do both, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's an additional support and stuff to what you're kind of doing with the mind and things. So
but also your body tells you if counseling or anything else works for you. I think your body tells you, is this what helps me?
Your body or also your mind. I mean, I remember when I had counseling CBT at some stages in my life, and it wasn't my body telling me it works or it doesn't work. It was I'm still feeling sad, not able to really enjoy life and so on. It was my awareness, my cognitive awareness, where I'm like, well, that's not working. What else can I do? But as I said, I wasn't aware of, well, let's bring the body into account.
Do you have any other clients' success stories? I don't know if that's the right word.
One of my, that's another one I totally, absolutely love, because TRE is so empowering. And I worked with a woman who saw her physiotherapist twice a week and her chiropractor every fortnight. And if you just imagine how much time she spent getting there, waiting, having the treatment, getting home, and so on and so on, and how much money she spent on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Now she's practicing TRE 5, 6, 7, whatever minutes a day, every other day, and she does it herself.
It's
empowering.
No?
Yeah, it's exactly, it's empowering. I myself had terrible lower back and hip pain. I really thought I needed a new hip because it was so awful. And I tried yoga, I tried mindfulness, mindful breathing exercises, and the official NHS exercises. There's a really nice video on by NHS physiotherapist, and I did them for weeks and for months. Nothing. I just didn't feel any difference whatsoever. And I also remember one of the first questions in my training was, could TRE help me with my back pain? And the answer was, well, if you're holding tension in your body, totally. If there is, let's say, if there's something mechanically wrong and I really needed a new hip, obviously TRE is, it's not like the magic pill or magic key for everything. But if you're holding tension, I didn't know if I was holding tension. I just struggled with my back pain and hip pain. Well, I started practicing TRE within a few weeks, or I can't even remember. Maybe it was days. My back pain is gone. But again, it's not a quick fix. It's a maintenance thing. So when I'm traveling and I'm not really in my normal environment and I don't make the time for a shake, even if it's every other day, I notice, my back, my tension. Yeah. So, but I have this tool and I can use it. I've worked with a journalist, so you can see that I think it's the Women's Health magazine. I have the link on my website. She was the one who was only tremoring for 1 minute, very first session, didn't want to overwhelm the system. She was tremoring in her legs, and afterwards said, my face feels so much better. Like if I had just had a facial. Yeah. Wow. And she wasn't even aware she was holding so much tension in her jaw.
Wow.
I just love it, and I'm really almost evangelical in telling people how amazing our bodies are. But yeah, some people, I offer the solution or this option, and I know it's tremendous. But I also appreciate there are some people who say, I want to talk about things and it works for me. There are people who say, no, I see my physio and I have always gotten help by my physio. Fine. If you're happy with that, do that. Yeah. I mainly work with people who said, like myself, I've tried everything. Nothing is working. Could TRE help me? Yeah. Or even worse, who've been to their doctor. Their doctor checked them from top to bottom and was like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all good. Maybe it's in your head. Maybe you're making it up. How disrespectful is that? But what the GP or, generally allopathic health practitioners don't see is the mind-body connection. Yeah. The body keeps the score. Something is generally not working. Has your doctor ever asked you about, have you experienced stress? Has anything significant happened in your life? No, it's just, what's the symptom? What can we do? And if people are fed up masking the symptoms with pills or with whatever, TRE offers a solution.
It's like a deep massage, soul massage.
Absolutely. And it's like an internal massage, Ivana, because we, through the tremoring, can get like internally into areas where no massage therapist gets externally. Yeah, absolutely. It's an internal massage. Yeah.
You can put that on the website.
Yeah, exactly. Give yourself an internal massage.
Yeah. Then I'll send you an invoice if it works. This for the idea.
Yes.
Wow. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, Yaw?
No, I'm just funnily enough, my head's ticking over.
Oh, here we are again. It's all going round, isn't it?
But I think in
in a good way, in a positive way.
I think in
Definitely.
your case, Yaw, you need to realize or believe it because you know it. Your mind knows it, but you don't believe it. That resting is an action as well. It's not an inaction. It's like when you sleep, you don't do nothing, no?
Yes.
You need it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm repairing and
It's
things.
an
Yeah.
Yeah,
action.
exactly. Repairing,
And I
restoring.
think it's that perception people see resting as an inaction.
Yes.
When you do nothing, just
Yes.
be. It's an
Yes.
action. You're being.
Yes.
And then
Absolutely.
you're more productive. You're better husband, better father. So it's the
Yes.
best action actually you can take to switch off. Yeah.
Well, it's self-care, isn't it? But in today's society, it's not really appreciated because we're always going, functioning, being productive.
Yeah.
And then when you do anything you do from the place of stress, tension, nothing, you can't produce anything good. Never. It doesn't work now.
Yes.
But like you mentioned, self-care, I think it's been distorted now over the years, and now it's all about have a bubble bath, go for a walk, which is nice. But I think it's much more than that now.
Absolutely. It should be much more than that. Yeah. But hey ho, I mean, even a bubble bath helps you to relax.
Oh yeah. But not as a one-off. You need to
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, we are all different and we all need different things and approaches, and some things talk to people more. I mean, if somebody is happy to have, I don't know, 5 bubble baths a week and then goes to see the massage therapist and spends the weekend at the spa and feels like, oh, I'm like a new person. Perfect.
It's a lifestyle. No, it has to be a lifestyle. Not that I do something once a year. It's not really what it's supposed to be. Yaw.
But I think what you're saying is it's for that person. It's what that whatever that person feels.
Oh
is
yeah, 100%.
different to them. So even if it was that one thing and it happened, but it was such an impact to them, then great.
Then
Yeah,
yes,
I get
100%.
it.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that online, when you look up self-care, it's just very generic.
Yes.
Nothing, it's very like
it doesn't go deep. It's the fluffy, what you said. It's a fluffy kind of bubble bath.
Perfect. Yeah. But if it does work, if they explain it better, maybe the explanation, if it went deeper, then that could make a difference. Yeah. But self-care is much more than what we think often. Yeah.
Yes.
Self-love, self-compassion.
Yes.
That's self-care. When you stop yourself from, say, having toxic thoughts about yourself and you switch them to something more empowering, that's self-care to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
and saying no is also a very, very important self-care. Yeah. It's one of my most read blog posts, being authentic, saying no. Because if you're not authentic and always do things you don't want to do and support other people, I mean, this is where illness comes in, right? You're taking on too much, you're always there for others, but never for yourself. And then suddenly you're like, wow, now I'm in.
But that's how we were raised. No, don't be selfish. Think about others.
Yes. But you can be selfish in a really kind way, right?
Yeah.
Selfish is good. I always say.
In a kind way.
It's about balance. Yeah, balance. Yes. No, it's not good to be too selfish or too about other people only. So it's a balance. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And is these things that your body remembers as well? Like how you act or how you treat yourself?
How do you mean this?
How you treat yourself, what your relationship with yourself, does that impact our body health as well, like physical health, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you are kind to your body and listen to the symptoms and work on kind of easing these symptoms, of course your body thanks you for that.
Yeah.
And as you said before, sleep. I mean, sleep is so underrated and so important because it restores ourselves overnight.
And we don't say, oh, I don't want to sleep because I'm not doing nothing then.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. That's,
I'm
by
not
the
doing-
way, this is, again, it's not a promise, but it's one of the most popular client feedbacks, when people say, oh my gosh, I had the best night sleep ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why?
Just for this, we need to do this.
Because you have downregulated your nervous system, you're generally calmer, you're in a good rest and digest space, and then you sleep better.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
going to bed. I need a snooze. I mean that in a really positive way. I think, I'm looking at myself and stuff at the moment. I'm just like, maybe I need just a stop.
Just breathe or connect with your breath as well. Oh, do you also do like connecting with the breath, or is that not a part of TRE?
Well, we are not as a breath prominently working with the breath, but obviously, yes. I mean, when we ground before the actual TRE process, we go through breathing. We make sure we are connecting with our bodies. Even when we are shaking, I always remind clients and remember to breathe. Yeah, we don't want to be so amazed what our body is doing and what is shaking that you're holding everything and not breathing. Yeah, I mean, it's always there, and I always remind my clients, but it's not an element of TRE, so to speak. The element of, or the main feature of TRE is the shaking.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. This has been wow. I don't want to say amazing. We said that last time. We always say amazing. Yaw. We still haven't come up with a new word.
Tremendous.
Oh,
Tremendous.
Thank you. That's the word. Thank you so much. Can you please tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yes, with pleasure. The best way to start is my website, which is tremendous, TRE.co.uk. And from there you find all the socials. I have a really active blog where I post every 10 days, and for me it really is all about educating people how amazing our bodies are. And there's a quiz on my website where you can assess, is TRE for you? Would it meet your expectations? And that's a fun thing to do if somebody is interested in doing that.
Of course.
But thank you for the opportunity to talk about TRE and our tremendously amazing bodies. And thanks for your invitation.
Thank you. And we also leave the link to your website in the description of this episode, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm just,
sorry.
I'm in a good place.
Good.
Great.
We hope you enjoyed this episode just as much as we did. And if you liked it, don't forget to share it with those who you think would benefit from it as well, which is, I think, everyone, because we all have bodies.
Exactly.
So just share it, basically, is what I'm saying. Far and wide. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Fabulous. Bye-bye.